Hey trainers, welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Poke Dad. And Dance Bear's back to school, so that leaves me solo doing these profiles. And today we got the World Championship Henry Rand's Championship 2019 deck. Mewtwo Mew Toolbox. And yes, this is without Rainbow Energy. We've been saying for the long time, don't play Rainbow Energy. Just keep it simple, right? And I've got a quick couple clips to share, so I'm going to run those real quick, and then we'll dive into the list.
But I think this will be in the winning deck.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play the Mewtwo.
I really like that. I really like that a lot. It's super consistent. It's good. Um, if you're worried about power plant, you're gonna have. I think the deck runs at least 4, if not 5 stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got a really nice, healthy line of stadium bumps. Not going to be an issue whatsoever. And if you're that worried about it, since you play Mysterious Treasure, you can play the Marsh Shadow where you can just sack it and get rid of the stadium.
Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed those clips from Poke Dad. That was from our meta forecast video. So, yeah, let's do this list. We got the 4 Mewtwo Mew, 3 Dedenne, and then lots of tech attackers. We got a Naganadel GX Dragon, Espeon DX Tag Team GX, got the Latios GX. We've got Jirachi to get rid of weakness, a Cabalion Macargo GX, a Charizard GX, a Solgaleo GX, and then a little Marshadow. So, straight away, there's concerns. Not really concerns, but more like confusion. Okay? So, obviously, for Mewtwo, that's what we've been running. 3 Dedenne, right on point. Solgaleo, Charizard, Jirachi, even the baby Marshadow, because Power Plant is basically the only thing that can like really kind of lock you down. But this deck is built for like worst case scenario. It's got plenty of stadium bumps. It's got the Marshadow, but it also you can just go in with Charizard or Macargo. So, the stuff I don't really understand why it's there, and it seems like there might be better options, is the Naganadel GX. Okay? So they're trying to do a snipe, which is fine, because he's running Psychic Energy plus the Fire Energy for Welder. So this makes sense. I'll actually really like this inclusion if you're running Psychic Energy. Okay? You could also run like unit energies with this deck, but he opted for like Viridian Forest, so he could just go get the Psychic Energy whenever, rather than trying to draw into the unit energies when he needed them. So I see success with both either the unit energy or the psychic energy kind of version. So Espeon Deoxys Tag Team, a little confused why it's here. There's honestly probably better options. I can't think of any, but I mean, you have to keep in mind this is built around a psychic attacking plus fire attacking. So I'm definitely okay with it. It would have been interesting to see maybe like a Gengar instead of the Espeon Deoxys, but hey, whatever. Then you got the Latios. It has the protection whenever you hit for 120, it gets protected. That's super good. You got the Charizard, obviously. Solgaleo to recover energies. That's very, very smart. I think all the Toolbox decks run him anyways. Macargo. Dancing Bear is all on board with the Macargo GX. He loves, 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 loves. Because he was saying that you need an attacker that has the 3 energy attachment and starts hitting hard. So for 3 energies plus the initial 50 plus does 200 damage base. So attach for turn, welder, you can hit for 200. So the Dancing Bear really, really likes the Macargo. Me, I would rather just play a second Charizard rather than the Macargo. But they're also using it for the big KOs, and in which case Dragonite is infinitely better than Macargo. Because Macargo, you have to have 5 energy plus the initial 5, 50, to hit for 300 to OHKO anything, right? Well, Dragonite, 270, and you only discard 3. Macargo, you'd have to discard all 5. And then you're set up for a attach for turn, welder. You can do Dragonite's attack again. So I personally like Dragonite GX better than the Macargo, but I'm fine with leaving the Macargo GX in and instead replacing the Cobalion. I get what he was going for. He was trying to use the GX attack where nothing can attack you. So that gives him basically 2 turns to power up something. And more than likely he was powering up Espeon and Deoxys GX attack, attaching Welder, using Cabalion's GX attack, and then attaching Welder to Espeon Deoxys, then going into the GX. Well, you can't even use the GX attack, so that doesn't even make sense. So I honestly don't really have, unless it's just to buy a couple turns, because I mean you're not running Metal Energy, you're not using the ability, or maybe Cabalion's just his favorite Pokemon. Sometimes these pros, they'll just slip in their favorite Pokemon into a deck, but I'm not on board with the Cobalion. I'd rather see that as Dragonite GX. If you don't want to change Macargo GX to Dragonite, then Cobalion for sure needs to be Dragonite GX. But, alright. Got the Draw Chief, get rid of weakness, and then the Marshadow. He actually hits hard into a Naganadel, since they're Ultra Beast. 10 plus 60 more, so 70. And then they're weak to Psychic, so you're doing 140. So he's super good in the Blacephalon matchup, not just to discard stadiums. So good stuff. Couple stuff I don't really get, but I understand why he was playing them, because he was playing Psychic Energy, and so he wanted Psychic attackers in case the stadium ever got like really, really bad. Like Power Plant was in and he had no way to bump it, but he's got like 5 or 6 different ways to bump it. So I think he could have ran just a straight fire version, honestly. 4 Cherish Ball, 3 Mysterious Treasure, 4 Acrobike, 4 Poke Gear, 4 Custom Catcher, Double Switch, 1 Electromagnetic Radar, and 1 Fire Crystal. So obviously 4 Acrobikes, super good because you want stuff in the discard. Plenty of forms of search. He could have played a 4th Mysterious Treasure since he's playing a heavier like Psychic version, but 3 gets the job done. Electromagnetic Radar helps you discard and go grab Dedenne. Fire Crystal for a little bit of a quick welder, especially if you have a welder, you can get the attach for turn and welder. So Flame Crystal's super good. That's if you don't want to go into Solgaleo. Solgaleo's attack numbers of 120 is not too good. So I mean, you've got to kind of be in a bad or rough, tight situation to go into Solgaleo's attack to Turbo Strike. So then Double Switch. You do have heavy retreaters, so you need to get out of the active. And then, of course, 4 custom catchers. So I feel like all that stuff is pretty standard. It is kind of odd to see the electromagnetic radar, but Seems to work. Simple on the supporters, 2 welder, 2 bills analysis. That's it. He's opted for bills analysis instead of Hapu. We have played Hapu in our deck because, like I said, we do want stuff in the discard, but I don't know if Bills is better than Hapu. You get to see one more card with Bill, and you don't have to discard stuff, but again, you're playing a deck where you don't really necessarily mind stuff being in the discard, so I don't know for sure if Bill or Hapu's better. But for sure play 4 welder in this deck. Absolutely. You could even play a pal pad instead of like the electromagnetic radar to get the pal pads back. Energy. 3 psychic. 4 8. And that's right on point. I believe our Mewtwo Mew deck played 11 or 12, so we've got 11, and then if you count the Flame Crystal, we can get back 3, so that bumps it up to 14, and then if you count Turbo Strike to get back 2 more on an attack, so plenty of energy, definitely not going to be an issue. And then last but not least, we got our stadiums, 3 Giant Hearth, and a Viridian. Viridian so that he can seek out the Psychic Energy, rather than playing unit energy and hoping to draw into them. So we've got 4 stadium bumps, 5 if you count the Mars Shadow. So I would have liked to have seen a Heat Factory in here possibly. But, I mean, he's the world champion, folks. Simple as that, okay? And this is definitely 100% right on point with what his deck was. So it's not like the others where they may be like 1 or 2 cards off. So, but that's it. We're excited to try it out and see how it does. We're going to be trying out all these Worlds decks, and we might even do our own little kind of tournament with the Worlds decks. So it'll be pretty fun. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to do I've got a crazy one. I'm going to showcase Finnegan's deck. It is like absolute bonkers, okay? I'm not even certain how to play it, but I'm going to do my best to attempt to explain how to play it from how he told me. And even then, after him telling me, I'm still kind of trying to figure it out. So maybe until I get it spread out and build it, then I'll figure out how, okay, this is how the deck plays. So we're going to feature that tomorrow, and then we'll probably do maybe some Zekrom Pikachu Worlds deck. So, yeah. So, till next time, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.